In the beginning, there was the world sea. It spanned all time and space, from the stars to the tunnels and forgotten groves deep beneath the earth. In those days, all elements of sea and sky mixed freely, and the earth was formless. The old gods, the Naiar in the giantish tongues, sailed the sea in hope of making a home for themselves, of fulfilling their great purpose, their fate and destiny, creation. Of the Naiar, it is said 17 there were. However, 5 were lost over their wars, and their true names of majesty and grandeur have been watered down and diluted into the mortal languages. Each held a design in creation of shaping the inky blackness of the world sea into a land, a true world and planet. Lord amongst them, and greatest in their design of creation, was Torek, the lord of art, of creativity and imagination, of making the abstract reality and bending the truth of the universe to his will and purpose. He sought an unending world, that of an eternal cycle, a land of immortal beings and ageless wilds. However, others disagreed. Gerild the Sunfather said that the world should be weathered and worn, an ever-changing and ever-shifting cacophony of music and chaos. However, Meshanael the Dread believed that there should be one ending, that the world should fall and be lost and should die. They argued that what was the point in creation if it had no clear objective and no end? Turk not only could not understand the concept of their design having a singular purpose, and found the notion appalling, he brought 11 others, including himself, making their number 12, the other Naiar, which sought a world of bliss and immortality. Meshanael brought 4 others to his cause, making a union of 5. It started as arguing, as debating, ordered and complex. From this, the order of the celestial spheres and heavens were made. Earth, sea, stars, and sky were all divided, and the universe, Ea it was named, was born. The world sea became the space between the stars, and the worlds, a ceaseless nothing, a null space. Then Gerild the Sunfather came to blows with Ertana, mother of stone, earth, and soil. From their conflict the unceasing flame was born, the sun, and all fire and heat was made. Then, as heat divided itself, cold was born to oppose it. The cold cooled the fire, and earth was made, and all planets and worlds were born from the flames. Then another duel broke out, this time larger, a battle of Halef, the Naiar of waters and of springs, oceans, lakes, and rivers. He flooded the horizon-spanning land of Ertana, which created the seas and all waterways, and fought alongside him was Belrosir of the sky, who settled their war and separated the 2 spheres of earth and water upon the world, in the process creating his own domain of the winds and airs. The battle spread, and soon Turk and Meshanael themselves drew magic, thunder and blade, and fought, and no other conflict or war was as great as their battle. Thus strife was unleashed, war, famine, death, rage, and storms. The sky sundered as stars fell to earth. And thus Tork looked down on the world that their war, the war of the Naiar, had borne, and realized that their purpose, their creation, was in fact a merging of his and Meshanael's ideals. The world was indeed beautiful, where rivers gave way to forests, as Yaldera the Wild Mother's blood had made, and yet it had an ending, and strife troubled it. It was a delicate balance, and when it was finally sundered in the epoch of endings, as that age would be called, the cycle would repeat. A new world, a new earth would be born, and their wars and actions would repeat, and it would end and begin and end and begin in an eternal cycle. He realized that this was their purpose of creation, their fate and their design, a great primordial compromise and a perfect reflection of his and Mashanael's ideologies. So, Toruk and Mashanael slew each other and became the forces of the universe, Ea. Toruk, also called Tarag, was the force of creation as the planet and world was formed, and of life and growth and youth. Mashanael was of objective of a goal and purpose, was entropy and was death and was ruin, and yet gave way to Toruk and creation. In their conflict, the Naiar were wounded and could no longer watch over the world as stewards, and so, with the remains of Toruk were made the beings known as the Sayar Din. There were three races of the Sayar Din: the giants who were reconstituted from his bones, the archdragons from his wrath, and the gods, our gods, from his mind. The Sayardin, at the ending of the primordial epoch, were given the task of stewardship, so they may watch over the world named Arden or Arnuin by them, and that the cycle of Toruk and Mashanael may continue. This excerpt has been taken from a hidden away Iridaean scroll within the catacombs of Orost, and translated into modern Tainori. However, it is likely the scroll itself was a translation of an even older text. Scholars believe it is a record of the oldest creation myth known to mortality, likely from that of the ancient Stonehelm people of the north and the Stone Giants.